Check, check. My amp unit, wake up. Get up. Get amplified. Sasha, cut my motherfucking music. Cut it. Cut that shit, Sasha. Thank you. Beautiful Saturday morning. Hopefully you guys are crushing it wherever you are in the world. Top of the morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the world. Amplify the fuck out of today. Smash it in its mug. Today we're going to discuss WWE Smackdown, August 26th, 2022. Before we get to this show, disclaimer, there will be a spoiler at the end of this review for 8/26/22 SmackDown. They actually they taped next week's SmackDown in advance, immediately after the show last night. So this wasn't actually live last night. They started a little bit early in Detroit, and then they went into next week's filming. So we will be discussing that, guys. There's no use waiting a whole week to go over a taped show. We're going to kind of do two reviews into one. The good news is, don't worry, I know that sounds like I'm going to keep you here for 4 hours. Not the case. Not a lot happened on last night's SmackDown. And when I say not a lot, I mean basically nothing. Nothing happened last night. If there was a couple of higher points, we'll discuss them. But from top to bottom, I mean, you could have easily just... you could have missed this show, and you wouldn't have really missed anything. You would have thought that Triple H was locked himself into a bathroom somewhere, right? Stephanie McMahon, everybody's trying to locate this son of a bitch. Guys, you ever see, was it Major League, or no, maybe it was Rudengardner. Remember that line? The kid, he snaps his elbow. He dislocates his elbow or some shit, and then he can throw a fastball 110 miles an hour. But he's like a kid, and he actually makes it onto the Chicago Cubs. Rookie of the Year. The movie is called Rookie of the Year. I think that's what I was thinking of. If you've never seen the movie, this kid is playing with his friends to fucking breaks his arm, and he ends up playing for the fucking Cubs because he's got a fastball, and the Cubs desperately need a pitcher. They just need any good player. It's a really good movie. My point is, there's a character in this movie. He's the guy from Home Alone. Marv. Shut up, Marv. At midnight tonight, we're hitting Duncan's toy chest. Marv plays one of the coaches on the Cubs, and he's an absolute basket case. The guy is bonkers to the highest degree and most amplified of measures. And this guy locks himself inside of the fucking locker room cage. So the game's going on, and he's trying to... Guys, hello? Somebody get me out of here. I couldn't help but think Triple H is locked somewhere in that arena in Detroit, man. Guys, Steph? Vince? Somebody get me out of here, because this show was just... It wasn't that good, man. It's not even about good or bad. I understand they were taping two shows in one. But I can't stand that. When you're doing two shows in one, you know that not proper attention, not proper care is going to be put into anything. And unfortunately, that's exactly what we saw. So I did want to just give a disclaimer, okay? There is going to be spoilers for next week. I will let you know when that is, because I will declare last night's review over. I'll get a swig of coffee from the coffee bar, and then we will go into next week's SmackDown. So I will let you know. Don't worry. I will give you the spoiler alert. You can put on the earmuffs or tune out and come back next video. I totally understand. I don't really have a cold open either, so that'll expedite today's review video as well. The only cold open that I can think of is to thank every single one of you guys for yesterday's amazing live stream. It was so much fun while we were live cutting that stream. BC with about a 53-minute rant on the woes in AEW. And you guys just showing that love, man. I think we're on our way to like 700 on the ups on that. I mean, you guys absolutely just crushed that. And what's so cool, man, I guess I will a couple minute cold open on this subject just to put a bow on it. What was really cool is now seeing the entire community is now speaking out finally, you know, about AEW. And I'm pretty sure it's for the same reasons as BC. We want to see it succeed. We see so much fucking talent in AEW. But more importantly, or just as anyway, so much potential in AEW. Not just talent, but what the company could accomplish. The potential, there should be no ceiling to how high it reaches. And to see it just not reach those peaks yet, and then to see it actually start to just regress and just get kind of, it's burying itself over time. And BC, for the longest time, you guys know this, man, and this isn't a pat on the back because I didn't want to be. I was the only one to raise these concerns, to the point where even Tony Khan didn't like it. But I raised these concerns because I saw the potential and I saw it not being reached. It wasn't a case of, oh, just my favorites are not being pushed, right? Or oh, I just didn't like it, so my opinion is better than others. No, it was literally, guys, if you don't correct these minor things now, those minor issues will snowball and become bigger issues, and then you got a real big problem on your hands. And what happened is none of them were addressed. And then when Khan doesn't like us critiquing it and wants us not to do such, well, then the most honest voices in the community like BC, they're not speaking about that anymore. And now, or they're not reviewing the shows, I should say, because it didn't stop me from speaking on it, I assure you. But we're not reviewing the show, so now they're just doing the same things, and all of the yes men and all of the yes fans, right? The tribalist fans, they're just going to give Tony Khan everything he wants to hear, right? Everything is a bed of roses. Don't listen to everybody else. This is for us anyway. It's the niche audience. But they can be so much better than that. And to see them not live up to that potential, it's sad, actually. But for the longest time, it was just me. And I put up the fight, man. And I know I was called every name in the fucking book. BC's an asshole. BC is so negative. BC's a jerk. What a clown. If he's going to bash AEW like that. Obviously, they've never seen the channel because since I've been creating content for over 5 years, I've been giving WWE even harsher critiques. Justified, I might add. So obviously they don't watch the channel to see how truthful BC is. But I get called every name in the book, and I love it. Come on, man. I was born the heel. I wear the black hat, literally and figuratively. I grew up in a set of projects. Calling BC names just turns me on even more. It brings a smile to my face. You damn right you talking about me, bitch. Good or bad, my name's coming out your mouth. That's when you have pure power. That's something special. So I never minded that. But what's very cool is to start to see I wish it was sooner. I wish people understood my concerns and why I was voicing them way in advance. I wish people came around earlier, I should say. It doesn't take longer. Please, not longer. No. AEW cannot stand another fucking year going like this. I wish people came around sooner rather than later. But it's really cool to see everybody finally be on the same page. It's cool to see other content creators that just would absolutely accept everything Tony was dishing. Just wave that flag without any care of what it's doing for the company in a negative way, it's cool to see now even those people start to raise concerns. Instead of asking where the fuck were you guys earlier, I'm going to say welcome to the party. It's about time you start holding them accountable, because there's no damn reason a company with that much potential is nowhere close to reaching it. And over the last 24 hours, I'm starting to see a lot of people that were flying that flag so high start to reel it in just a little bit. Not because they don't like it anymore. Maybe they give a shit. So anyway, welcome to the party, everybody that used to just call BC all these names and I'm such an asshole, I'm a douche. And of course, for those that still don't like BC, proceed, but you, at least now, when you look in the mirror, you say, he's still an asshole, but damn, he was right. He's a truthful asshole, that BC. That is music to my fucking ears, man. It's about time. I knew it was going to happen. BC Amplified, you will find, if you're a newer subscriber, you will find this out, as my tried and trues have. BC Amplified is right 99.99% of the time. I'm like a fucking Clorox wipe. 99.99% of the fucking time, BC's gonna do the job. Give it to you straight, give it to you raw, real, as honest as can possibly be, to the most amplified of fucking measures. I was right again about AEW. And now everybody is finding that out. Maybe listen to BC more often, everybody. You'll be better off. Or just BC's an asshole. Because I like that too. Now let's go on, man. SmackDown 8/26/22. Ricochet versus Happy Corbin. Starts this thing off. Shay wins after 10 minutes via a shooting star. Post-match, Pat McAfee just makes fun of Corbin for like a full 2 minutes. With the John Madden vision, basically. You remember John Madden, NFL football? They still do it today with the fucking, the teleprompter, or whatever, not teleprompter, the fucking, you know what I'm talking about. They draw on the fucking screen. I can't think of it. Unit, you know what I'm talking about. Drawing on Baron Corbin's face, X's and O's, and he's just making fun of him like a middle schooler. It was so odd. I like Pat McAfee, bro. I really do. Love McAfee and what he's brought into WWE and SmackDown and what he's brought out of Michael Cole. But that bit was a bit annoying, to be honest with you, man. Pat McAfee was a little cringe there, dude. The whole segment was just rather lame. The whole beginning to SmackDown was rather lame. Ricochet and Baron Corbin, why? Who the fuck needs to see that again? You can say, hey, at least Ricochet got a W. That's good. What the fuck does this do for him? I don't know. Nobody cared about the match. And Baron Corbin and Pat McAfee are continuing this feud, even though we've already seen this at SummerSlam. It's fucking odd. It's like they don't know where to go with Baron Corbin. They certainly still don't have a plan for Ricochet. You could see what happened to AJ Styles and Alexa Bliss easily happening to Ricochet, right? Where Alexa and AJ Styles for a while were actually collecting nothing but W's, but they just had no direction. So those W's were kind of meaningless. Very odd, man. Ricochet Corbin. I say that's a flop of a beginner. And you don't even have to take my word for it if you don't believe. If you're a new subscriber, you're still feeling BC out, man. I don't know, BC. Go check out the Detroit crowd, man. Go ahead. This is the first match of the night, mind you. And they got 2 shows they got to sit through. And you watch that, you know, and that's high flyer Ricochet in there. Detroit was not fucking digging it either. So it's not just BC where I'm watching it. I know a lot of you guys were kind of like, Ricochet and Happy Corbin is what we're doing in the Triple H era? 2 weeks away from Clash at the Castle? Pretty lame beginning. I can't say it got too much better either, if at all. In fact, it may have gotten even more lame. The second chance fatal 4-way tag team match in the women's tag tournament, say that 10 times fast, is up next. Xia Li and Shotzi versus Sonya Deville, Nattie, Nikki A.S.H, DooDooDrop, Tamina, and Dana Brooke. So you have 4 teams, all right? I know that's a lot to take in, man. Xia Li and Shotzi versus Sonya and Nattie versus Nikki A.S.H and Doodoo versus Tamina and Dana Brooke. This was a 4-minute match. That's right, I said 4 minutes. And by the way, what the fuck am I doing? Where's my coffee? Now, full disclosure, I've already had 3, and it's still early morning. So I've already had 3. Oh, where are my manners, too? We're doing the Lavazza Espresso, man. Show the coffee. Show the goods, BC. That's Italiano espresso, guys. Lavazza! So, we're going to get amplified for sure. Put that on full strength and full amplified temperature, of course. We want it really fucking hot. All right, that should do the trick, man. So while the Lavazza Italiano is brewing up in the coffee bar, let's get back to this second chance fatal 4-way tag match in the women's tag tournament. These 4 teams wrestled, I guess, in this 4-minute match for the outcome to be Deville pinning A.S.H, and Deville and Nattie move on to later in the night, where they face Raquel, Gonzalez, and Aliyah. This was just so sad, man. And by sad, I mean, like, pathetic, to be honest. Absolutely pathetic. To see the talent that is in this match. To see Xia Li and Shotzi in a tag team. Individually, they should be crushing the game right now. But in a tag team, to see them not just lose in 4 minutes, but barely get any spotlight, get any type of positive rub from the match itself. I mean, I'm trying to fathom, like, this match. Putting it together, having Xia and having Shotzi, and just giving them that. Like, why even go out there? Like, you wonder why Sasha and Naomi walked the fuck out. That's not being unprofessional. That's being smart as fuck. That's exactly what that is. I'm not saying Shotzi and Xia should be walking out at this stage in their career. That's not what I'm saying. But how do you not look at your booking and go, damn, why even go out there? Like, this is something that Triple H, he always gave the women more time. He always gave the women more benefit of the doubt. He always gave the women more of a chance. This is what I mean when I say this is more like Vince McMahon type of booking. And the ladies have so far not been booked up to Triple H standards. Bayley's crew, for instance, Bayley, Dakota Kai, and Io Sky. Their high point was when they debuted at SummerSlam. Ever since, they've been just regressing. They've just been going downhill. I mean, each show, their role in the show becomes more diminished, more nonsensical, more irrelevant by the show, by the segment. Until finally, I mean, a couple days ago, what was it, the last show? Or last Friday? They were fucking front row, just eating popcorn, heckling. That's how you used Dakota, Io, and Bayley. Then they're just yelling at Bianca, Asuka, and Alexa on Monday Night Raw. That's it. For 2 straight weeks, they just yell at each other in one segment. And then they're in a quick 3-minute match for another segment, right? 2 weeks ago, Dakota beat Dana Brooke. Last week, Bayley beat Aliyah, I think it was. I mean, what are we doing with them? And then last night, Bayley or was it later in the night? I think it was later in the night. It wasn't in this match, but later on, because again, Deville and who was her fucking partner? Deville and Nattie won this match, and they went on to take on Raquel and Aliyah later in the night. And during that match, Bayley, Io, and Dakota were on commentary, or Bayley was. Io and Dakota were just standing behind her like fucking bodyguards, twiddling their thumbs. They might as well have been. Probably more entertaining than watching the fucking match in front of them, but we'll get to that in a few minutes. But that's what they did last night. They just went out there, Bayley did some commentary, they got in the ring, and they stared down Raquel and Aliyah. There was so much potential for this group at SummerSlam. So much. So much fucking potential for this group. BC marked out. We were all like, damn, think about them three. As long as they don't just throw them in 6 women tags all the time. Right from the jump, that's what they did. With Asuka, Bianca, and Alexa for Clash at the Castle. Right from the jump. And then the whole storyline has just been trying to get these nonsensical, irrelevant tag team titles. There's no real story. There's no real we're taking over the women's division storyline. BC, what do you think this is, man? They're going to get the titles first. What do you... They're not doing... They're throwing... Eating popcorn and heckling is taking over. I thought they'd be beating the shit out of these ladies back out in the parking lot. Right? Bianca shows up. Here comes Bayley in a monster truck trying to run her over. Come on, man. Slight exaggeration. I just... This has not been the Triple H way to book his ladies. I mean, you had 8 females in there. 8 females in a women's tag team in a tournament. 8 females, and the match was 4 minutes long, barely. I mean, there's no way that's acceptable, or I would hope it's not acceptable for you guys, man. Not my amplified unit, for sure. There's just not a way that this is Triple H, unless this is just what Vince wants, you know? And this is what I mean. We don't really know, man. Salute. Oh, look at that. Lavazza. Ooh, is it going to make it to the top? Ooh, is it going to make it? Oh, no. Ooh. A surge. A second surge. Nope. It's going back down. Oh, it's a wave, bro. Look at that thing going low. Sometimes they will go to the top, man. It's really cool to see the lecture. This is actually a hazelnut creamer. There's going to be no added sugar, just what's in the hazelnut creamer. And we're just going to leave that on top of the Lavazza. Every coffee has a different texture. Everybody will tell you that. The foam at the top from the actual coffee texture after you put the creamer on it. And how fucking high the tide rises with the creamer, man. How it connects with the coffee grind. That's how you can always tell a good coffee. Oh, I'll just mix that a little bit. And I'll give my first salute of the review to my amplified unit. Salute to you guys, man, as we continue on with Gunther and Sheamus in a second. Salute. Ah! That'll fucking do it. That's some strong shit right there, man. Not like Colombian coffee, though. But Colombian coffee, forget about it. 2 swigs, man. You're fucking... You're fucking... You're riding on top of the subway. Fuck getting in the train, man. You're climbing the top of it, man. Let's go! Take me to Brooklyn! So anyway, later we'll talk about Deville and Nattie versus Raquel and Aliyah. The winner of that match will then take on Io and Dakota in the finals. I believe on Monday night, the finals, yes. Or no, would that have been Alexa or semi? I don't even fucking know. I don't care. I really don't. This whole women's tournament, the women's tag titles, it could not feel any more less important than it already does. Gunther and Sheamus then had a stare down that seemed to last 5 minutes. No joke, bro. Ludwig, Butch, and Holland were beating the shizzle out of one another, and Gunther and Sheamus never blinked. So they're all fighting around them. All of the fucking stooges of these two are beating the hell out of one another. And Gunther and Sheamus are just standing middle of the ring, just eyeing one another, man, not blinking. It was actually well done. It doesn't sound like that grand of a segment. It was actually well done if you think about Gunther and if you think about Sheamus eye to eye. Yeah, pretty good. Sheamus did this thing where I hope it's not a continuing thing. It looks like it's something he's going to start doing more of, and it's probably going to be on a t-shirt. And he's basically just taking one of BC's catchphrases. Maybe Sheamus is a faithful watcher of the channel like Big E. Much love to Big E, man, if you're watching out there. Maybe Sheamus is a faithful viewer, but Sheamus, just for a whole minute before the stare down, he's like, every match I have, it's a banger after banger after banger after banger after banger after banger after, and finally, after 100 bangers, right? He goes to the crowd to say the last banger, and I think like 6 people may have said it. I mean, Detroit didn't know where he was going with this, nor did they care. BC's always making fun of just work rate, right? Just a bunch of flips and dives and everybody going ooh and ah and for 10, 15, 20 minutes. And then afterwards, we all go on social and we go, what a banger! It was a banger! So here's Sheamus. I don't know if that like started as an inside joke in the back, and now he's going to make it like part of his own little shtick. But that could get annoying really quick, like it already has. Oh no, please don't say banger 100 times in all your promos. Anyway, good stare down. Loved it, actually. Just Gunther's so believable. Sheamus looked like after a while he was getting like a little like, where are we going with this? Gunther looked like he could do this for a whole weekend. For Gunther, this is how I grew up, bro. This is how I used to stare at my parents when they were pissed at me. This is how I went to school, looked at the teachers. This is my life. Gunther looked like he could not be more comfortable, dude. Like he goes to the beach. Fuck the lounge chair. Fuck the sunscreen. Fuck going into the ocean. Fuck the boardwalk. He's just gonna stand in the sand and just fucking stare out into the abyss. Like this is just what Gunther does in his downtime. This is his hobby. Could not be more funny. Beautiful way to hype this match without getting physical. I will say that too. So that was really really cool. You know, you got to get kind of innovative, and sometimes it is in the most simplistic of ways. You know, you don't want these two getting too physical right before the big pay-per-view, bro. The premium event. This was a good way. Save that shit. Save the violence. Save the beatings. The physicality. Save it all for next Saturday in Cardiff, Wales. We ended hour number 1 with some video packages. The journey of Drew McIntyre back to the WWE Universal Championship. So that was well done. And a hype package for Shayna Baszler. You know, she's the one who's only won a handful of matches in her last 50 matches. She has a 10% winning percentage. Yeah. That Shayna Baszler is now getting a hype package finally. This isn't the most captivating television, but it really does help character development tremendously. So I actually like these packages. The Drew one fits. Shayna Baszler, it's going to take a lot more than that to get us believing in her again. And it's unfortunate because she should have been booked a lot more properly than she has been. Vinnie Mac never saw it. Maybe Triple H does, and that's why she got a video package. But it was just funny watching this video package of what was supposed to be Shayna's most dominating moments, and most of those were either losses or not even matchups. It's just odd. Hour number 2 starts off with Sami Zayn. Hour 2, Sami Zayn in Roman Reigns' dressing room. That was pretty funny. It was pretty hilarious last week, so they decided to go with it again this week. And Roman tells Sami, they're sitting on the Tribal Chief's couch. Roman tells Sami he needs to take care of McIntyre later tonight. Sami says, and I quote, "I'm the man for the job." He says, that's what I do. I get in people's heads. I get comfortable. I lay down a blanket. I start dancing. At this point, Jay is cracking up behind him, man, because Sami's actually, like, dancing. I don't know how Roman's keeping a straight face. Jimmy and Jay are trying to hold back fucking laughter, bro. Roman and Zayn have worked so good together these last 2 weeks. I'm just really digging their work, you know, and Sami is just that... I'm going to say something. I don't mean exactly, right? Everyone's going to start flipping out. What do you mean, Stone Cold? What? I'm saying it's a good chemistry. I'm not saying at the same level, guys. Relax. But back in the day, Steve Austin and Kurt Angle. I know it seems like an odd couple, but they worked so great together. Stone Cold was this superstar personified. He was the guy, right? But by any means necessary, he's going to keep his championship. He was that guy. Kurt Angle was like the funny guy. His character at the time, Kurt Angle's, was a very comedic character. He was still a badass wrestler. Still booked actually really good, really strong, but there was a lot of comedy from Kurt. And when Kurt and Stone Cold would sit on Stone Cold's couch, I mean, moments just so funny, man. From Kurt downing milk as a counter to Stone Cold's beer, or Stone Cold playing his guitar, or it wasn't even a guitar. What the fuck was it? A ukulele? I don't even know. Kurt Angle would sing his song, Jimmy Crack Corn, and I don't care. Kurt and Stone Cold work so well together. To see Sami and Roman, this serious superstar, the guy, and the guy who will do anything to keep his title, same position that Stone Cold was in, and then you have this comedy guy who you know can go in the ring. With good booking, you'd easily believe he'd be champion, IC champion, United States, whatever, even world champion one day. If booked correctly, I would believe it. Sami Zayn is that good. But his comedy just gels with the seriousness of Roman. And I've really been digging their work the last couple of weeks. Moving on, because we'll get to Sami Zayn in that match with Drew McIntyre in the main event in just a little bit. That aforementioned match that I was talking about, though, Nattie and Sonya Deville, they win this 8-women tag match earlier in the night in just 4 minutes. Just absolute blasphemy. But we'll move on. Nattie and Deville now take on Raquel Gonzalez and Aliyah in the Second Chance Women's Tournament. The winner goes to the finals, I believe. I'm going to correct myself from earlier. They go to the finals to take on Asuka and Alexa, I believe. I have to fucking double check my own fucking recollection, because I just don't care about this tournament. I hate tournaments anyway, especially when I know this is not going to turn into anything special, because there is no division. BC, this is the start of it, man. No, it's not. Look at all the teams here, guys. Most of them thrown together. A bunch of singles people just thrown together. And not just that, but a bunch of singles ladies that should not be in a tag team. Thrown together or long-term. Doesn't matter. It's another story, bro. So anyway, in this match, Nattie and Deville versus Gonzalez and Aliyah. This was 3 minutes longer than the 4-minute match with the 8 ladies previous, earlier in the night. This was a 7-minute match, ending with Raquel pinning Deville. And Gonzalez and Aliyah now move on to the finals Monday Night Raw, I believe is where they're going to hold that match for the champions. I don't think they're going to Cardiff, Wales to do that. Again, I gotta look all this up, man. It's not even that important to me. Bayley, Io, and Dakota was ringside. Bayley on commentary. Io and Dakota just there because great booking, I guess. Post-match, Kai and Sky have a stare down with Raquel and Aliyah. This is just so sad to see what happened with Bayley and her group. I already went over it. I've went over it many times in many different videos. It's just, I don't even know their name officially. People are telling me it's Control. I never hear them really referencing Control, or I'm just tuning it out because it's stupid. I don't like that name. That's personal preference. Control is coming out. I don't even know if that's legit, though. I know Bayley has called them that a time or two, I guess. But nobody's really gone full throttle with that name. Maybe you guys can tell me in the comments, man. If you know. If you don't know, don't worry about it. I don't either. I don't even know if they have a name. They certainly don't have a purpose. The booking is just so odd. They just seem like 3 females on the roster now. There's nothing. There's nothing that distinguishes them from a Raquel Gonzalez, from an Asuka, from a fucking Alexa Bliss. Nothing they're doing is making people talk. Since SummerSlam. And Io Sky is my second favorite female in the wrestling world, in the industry, right behind Sasha Banks. I think the world of Io Sky. So for me to say that fucking, that sucks. I'm so high on Dakota Kai. You guys know that since I've had this fucking channel. How much I praise Dakota Kai and her work over the years. And Bayley, I became a fan of hers when she turned into that heel and she just put on her best work of her career. Even I like that better than fucking hugging Bayley from NXT. So it sucks to say what I am saying, but this group just seems like 3 more females on the Ferris wheel, and it just goes round and round, and everybody is just a spoke on that wheel. Up next, Kofi and Xavier, middle of the ring. Xavier in a wheelchair. Their tone is somber, and their message seems to question if this is truly the end of the New Day. With Big E gone now, and who knows if he's ever going to be able to return, that C1 is not... It's not healing the way that they were hoping. And that's a shoot. That's real. That's real, guys. It doesn't look like Big E is going to return to the ring. And we love Big E. And it sucks to say that, but I think people need to be prepared for that news if it comes. Because the C1, when you don't have a surge and you're hoping that C1, it rehabs correctly, it heals correctly, with that type of an injury, it's actually not uncommon for the C1 not to heal properly. And that's exactly what happened. Big E has said that in so many updates. So with that news really getting out there, and Xavier coming off an injury again, and just New Day, I'm pretty sure they're playing on real life too. New Day it's stale, right? It's been stale for a long time. The New Day team has been stale. Very rare do you have a team stay together that fucking long without a breakup, a shakeup, or something really fucking storyline driven that has captivated everybody. And New Day hasn't done that in a while. So my point is, they're playing on all of this, and they're asking, is this the end of the New Day? And this is the perfect time for the Viking Raiders to hit the ring. The Viking Raiders say what they hate the most is weakness. They say sometimes it's best to put a wounded animal down. So they go to do just that. They say, you're wounded. We don't want to hear you grovel or hear about your weaknesses. We're just going to put you out of your misery. We're going to put you down. And this is where Xavier gets out of his wheelchair, and he's got 2 kendo sticks. He throws one over to Kofi. Kofi almost dropped it, but he caught it. And they just start whacking away down onto the Viking Raiders. And the Raiders take a little bit of a beating, and then they retreat. So... all right, I didn't mind that. I don't want to see the 2 dudes like the Viking Raiders running away, even with kendo stick shots. I don't ever want to see that. But they're the heels. They're probably going over when they take on the New Day, and that's what should be happening. The Viking, like I said, the New Day's done fucking everything. The Viking Raiders have not gotten one actual push in WWE. Ever. On the main roster. Ever. The closest they got was when they were playing the games with the Street Profits. Every week they were playing a new game. One week it was basketball, then Frisbee, then Yahtzee, then Monopoly, then fucking beer pong, or whatever the fuck. Could you call that a push? So they have to win, so I'm okay with the New Day getting a little bit of that, get that momentum right now, and then they just get squashed out. Is that going to be in Cardiff, Wales? They'll probably just do that next week, actually. Isn't that in the... That might actually be in the next show that we're going to go over in the spoilers. They might have done that next week. Well, we'll find out, man. We'll find out together when they're going to do that match. But Viking Raiders have to win. We'll see what the spoilers say. Funny backstage segment with Hit Row followed, man. Max's modeling agency and Hit Row are not seeing eye to eye. At some point, Los Lotharios comes up, and they say, we have an idea. They're going to get back at Hit Row altogether, man. Max's modeling agency, Los Lotharios, and they have spray paint, and they spray painted Hit Row's bus. I think it said, Hit Row sucks. Well, come to find out, it was not Hit Row's bus. They're like, that's not even our bus, but good try. And they laugh at them and walk away. The Street Profits get off the bus. And they're like, what the fuck? I actually didn't mind that, man. Believe it or not, it takes some effort to get the bus in place, have it spray painted. Those type of segments we need more of. They're simplistic. They may seem goofy to a lot, but they're fun. They're fun. Get away from the ring for a second. Progress storylines in unique ways. And again, it doesn't always have to be over the top. You don't always have to move mountains. It can be simplistic. So I didn't mind that at all. Main event was Drew McIntyre versus Sami Zayn. This was an 11-minute match. Drew wins via the Claymore. It was a Claymore party. Not much more to add here. That was it, guys. 11 minutes, Claymore. I think we all pretty much saw that coming. Roman Reigns would hit the ring post-match. Hits a spear on Drew. Then Sami hits a haluva kick on the outside. The Usos then beat him down with steel steps. And then Roman locks the guillotine on him. Pretty badass, man. And then he lays down Roman flat on his back, and he starts talking some shit. He said, this is mine. I own it all. It's mine. You ain't taking it. He then sets up a steel chair, basically like on his chest, and sits on the chair. Looks right at the camera and tells anybody, take it from me. Take it. I dare you. Take it. I want you to take it. I mean, Roman was he was feeling it last night to end that show. And that's how we would go off the air with Roman Reigns pleading for somebody to even try to take those titles from him. Now, right from the jump, at that end, you're thinking, okay, well, Drew's winning the title. After seeing that beating, you usually see that right before the show, right before the pay-per-view, premium event. You'll see the hero take the beatdown and then the ultimate revenge at the pay-per-view, at the premium event. Well, not so fast. Wait till you hear the spoilers for next week, because the roles would be reversed, and now it's got everybody questioning, is Roman actually losing the championships? I'll explain what I mean. Let me just get a swig of coffee, and this is a perfect time to remind everybody. This is the spoiler section of the show, guys. This is where we are going to go over the card for next week. It was taped last night, right after last night's show, which wasn't even live. They started a little early, so last night's show was on a delay. And then immediately in Detroit, they taped SmackDown for next week. So this is going to be a spoiler. We're not going to talk too much in depth because I haven't actually seen the matches or the show. This is just what went down last night for next week. And this is where you can either put on the earmuffs and tune in and out occasionally over the next whatever this is going to be, 10, 15 minutes, or you could take off now, come back in the next video, and BC says, salute. Thank you for joining us for the 8/26/22 SmackDown. Salute to you guys taking off. Much love, much respect. I'll see you next week for more content, starting with Monday Night Raw. All right, we'll give a few seconds for those guys and gals to file out. And for those of you that are sticking around, you want to hear some talk for next week's SmackDown, which will be the go-home show to Cardiff, Wales Clash at the Castle. and that is going to be Friday, September 2nd. That's what we're about to go over. So, for that, let me try to get this up on the big screen here. One sec, guys. We're going to get this up. I want to get the whole card here, but I have to make sure it's on the big screen. Otherwise, I'm going to make 4 times the work for Sasha. And we're currently frozen. This is great. This is great television, Sasha. Great. Promise everybody we're going to go over next week's show, and we're fucking stuck. Come on! Come on, come on, come on, come on. Click, 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 click. Come on, come on, come on. You can fucking do it. Sasha, we still have Wi-Fi around here? What's the deal? I'm not cutting, man. This is unedited. We're gonna fucking get. We're gonna find these results. I stored them in a specific fucking spot, and now I can't get them. And I'm not editing because I'm stubborn. I'm not gonna cut this. We are gonna find this shit. All right. All right, we're gonna get there, guys. I believe. Possibly. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know. I don't know if we're going to... All right. I got it. I got it. All right. It took us 5, but hey, if you're still here, man, you guys deserve another salute. Oh, it's always a wild ride when you're on a BC fucking stream, or even if it's a pre-record. You never fucking know what you're going to get on a BC fucking vid. Much love to you guys. As promised, match number 1 for next week. Again, spoilers. This is next week. This is the go-home show. Karrion Kross defeats Drew Gulak by submission in 1 minute and 20 seconds. All right. Doesn't sound like Triple H booking, man. I mean, Karrion gets a W, so in that aspect, it does. If it was just Vince, he'd be out there in leather fucking Steve Urkel suspenders, medieval times helmet. By now, his name would be changed again. It would just be, it would be crisscross. His suspenders would be backwards. Does anybody remember crisscross back in the day? Crisscross will make you jump, jump. The Mac Dad will make you jump, jump. Oh, man, he'd be crisscross. The suspenders would be backwards. But because it's Triple H, he actually gets a W here. I just don't see what a squash match over Drew Gulak. Okay. Kross did have his full NXT entrance with Scarlett. So that's what a lot of us were hoping. You know, when the very beginning, when Triple H came back, it was just like, bringing people back. That's one thing. But like, let them breathe a little bit and be authentic, man. Don't try to change them just to change them. You know, everybody used to think that was just a vendetta that Vince had against Triple H. No, if you go back into the annals of time, you should see what Vince did to... This is way before there was a Triple H in WWE. This was way before there was an NXT or even a developmental system. You just came to WWE and Vince McMahon fucked with you, man. It didn't matter if he was putting Dusty Rhodes in polka dots, making fucking Bray Wyatt's family fucking fucking dad a tax agent. He didn't matter. It didn't fucking matter. Vince was gonna fuck with you. So it's just funny that everyone thought this was a vendetta. No, this is just what Vince does. So it's so cool to see them just have that, man, Karrion Kross especially. Him, Scarlett. You can't fuck that up. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Don't need it. So it looked like he had his full NXT entrance in this win over Drew Gulak. Then Ronda Rousey came out. Apparently had her complete entrance, even though she's still suspended. But maybe because she was brought there by Pierce to have a little in-ring meeting. So maybe Pierce laid out the red carpet for her. I don't know. No, though. She called out Pierce. So what the fuck, man? Her whole suspension, she was never suspended. She showed up on SmackDown twice during her suspension, 2 different weeks, and she's been wrestling on live events, guys. She's been tagging up with Shayna Baszler. They've been beating, I believe, Raquel, Gonzalez, and Aliyah. So what the Aliyah? Aliyah. Maybe that's gonna be her fucking twin sister in the future. Aliyah and Aliyah. It's early, guys. So Ronda Rousey has not been suspended at all during her suspension. Go figure. So she gets her full thing, calls out Adam Pearce, makes him read a letter from WWE that said her suspension is lifted and she can wrestle once again. Pearce says that he would have fired her if it was up to him. And she tells Pearce to kiss his ass. Pearce then tells her just how hard his job is and how he just doesn't like her. And then Pearce calls Ronda the biggest bitch he's ever met. So Ronda subsequently puts Pearce in an armbar. And he's begging not to break his arm in the corner, and that's how the segment ends. There you go, guys. I'm reading this off. I saved this earlier. I'm reading this off. This is the first time I'm going over this, guys. I didn't pre-read this, obviously, because as you can tell, I'm reading it and thinking about it. That's why I'm kind of holding off every time I read a few words, because I'm trying to picture this. I have not gone over this beforehand. I'm doing this live with you guys. So I'm trying to picture how that's going to work out. This whole Ronda Rousey suspension thing has just been so stupid. I understand, though, they're trying to book her better. And I always said, like, you book her as a badass. I love when she actually got arrested a couple of weeks ago. Right? But then she's just wrestling on live events. She's got her fucking music playing. She's jumping barricades and nobody's fucking... It's like, do that, but do it more realistically, right? It's like they decided to go with it and then forget about it. It's like, yeah, you take care of that. Yeah, do Ronda like that. And then in a month, at Cardiff, Wales, we'll revisit this. And creative writer 512 and 517 have to fucking do this with Ronda. And I feel they're botching it, man. They're botching it. Nothing... She was never suspended. That's a botch. That's a fucking botch. So odd. I don't know. Hit Row defeats Maximum Male Models in 3 minutes and 5 seconds. This was the second match of next week. Hit Row defeating Maximum Male Models 3 minutes and 5 seconds. What the fuck is that doing for the male models or for Hit Row? Even the winners can't gain any steam or momentum in a 3-minute match. Maximum Male Models, they tag in and out with just their index finger, I guess. That's kind of fucking hilarious. That's worth seeing, I guess. They also have... well, that's not... I don't know. Hit Row ends up winning this thing with a heavy hitter in 3 minutes and 5 seconds. Los Lotharios comes out during the match. They jump Hit Row. Street Profits run out to make the save. And then the faces all get that face reaction afterwards. Street Profits and Hit Row all getting the accolades from the fans. So what are we going to set up fucking 8-man tags in the future? What are we doing? Street Profits and Hit Row are now an item. This is what I mean. They don't pay attention or give a shit about the tag team division or tag team wrestling. They're only interested in adding more people together so they can do 8-man tags, 10-man tags. How about you get the tag team division correct, then we can start worrying about schmaz matches. There's no reason to throw all of these people together. If you want the Street Profits and Los Lotharios to have a side feud, or Street Profits and Triple M to have a side feud, that's fine. And then you have Hit Row and Los Lotharios. Or Hit Row and MMM. But why throw them all together just because you don't give a fuck and you don't want to take the time to care about it? All of this, guys. Nearly 10 talents. Hit Row. Maximum, more than 10. Hit Row. Maximum Male Model Agency. So that's 4 individuals right there. LA Knight. Or Max Dupree, whatever the fuck. Massey. Mansoir. Who the fuck is what's the women called, man? The lady in the group. Mega Hot Model Agents. Maxine. Mega Hot Maxine. Yes. So there's 4 individuals. Hit Row is another 3, including BFAB. So that's 7. Los Lotharios makes it 9. Street Profits makes it 11. Did I even get everybody? I don't even know. That's over 10 talents. And it was a 3-minute segment. Or the match was 3 minutes. Maybe it went 4.5 with the post-match extracurricular activities. Maybe. The third match of the night is Shinsuke Nakamura defeating Happy Corbin in 2 minutes and 25 seconds. I mean, again, I said this with this week's SmackDown. Did Triple H lock himself into a bathroom? Or did Vince McMahon sneak into the arena and he fucking held him into the basement, right? He was in the boiler room and he locked all the fucking locks. I don't know, but this just doesn't seem like a Triple H show. It seems like a Vincent Kennedy McMahon show, just like this past week. Maybe H wasn't in Detroit at all and had no say. I don't fucking know. Maybe this was Vince completely taking the creative reins all the way up until Clash at the Castle. Because he just couldn't sit back anymore and let H do it. Because look at the first 3 matches, match times. Crossover Gulak, 1 minute and 20 seconds. Hit Row defeats Maximum Male Models in 3 minutes. Shinsuke beats Corbin in 2 minutes. If you add up the match time, guys, 120, 305, 225. 3 matches. Less than 7 minutes. 6 minutes and 50 seconds. 3 matches. Over 15 individuals involved within the 3. 6 minutes and 50 seconds? I mean, that's so fucking odd. The next couple of matches will get time. But wow, what a weird first hour. I hope they pick up anyway. Butch versus Ludwig Kaiser was 8 minutes and 37 seconds, match number 4. So they did clinch 8 minutes finally in match 4. Butch Kaiser. Butch. This wasn't even a spoiler from BC. I mean, the photos were already leaked online. Butch was Pete Dunne, basically. Like his attire, everything. Movements, mannerisms, from what I'm hearing, Pete Dunne. So maybe, but this past week, he was still Butch. So I don't know if next week there's going to be some backstage segment beforehand, a pre-tape, that gets him to be Pete Dunne, or did he come to the ring as Butch, and then it's just Butch in the Pete Dunne attire, but he's still Butch? Does that make sense? I don't know if he's actually going Butch, but he looked like he was just Pete Dunne from the photos that I saw. And from what I heard, mannerisms, his wrestling style, everything was basically Pete Dunne. And Butch would win this match, man, with the bitter end. Sheamus and Gunther. Sheamus and Gunther did the... from what I'm reading anyway, it's basically what they did this week. They just teased their upcoming bout for next week, or September 4th. Clash at the Castle, which is just going to be... Oh, man, that's if they do this properly, that's going to be one hell of a physical match. Just a fucking beautiful confrontation between those two. But they basically did the same thing, man. They fucking just like get in each other's face. This time they were separated. So, I like how they're not getting physical yet. Wait. The payoff will be beautiful in Cardiff, Wales. Match number 5 was the Viking Raiders versus the New Day. So, yeah, I was right from earlier. I knew they weren't going to wait till Clash at the Castle. Then again, they might just do the same match yet again. This isn't the first, second, third, fourth, fifth time these teams have faced each other. They'll probably do it again September 4th. But there was the Viking Raiders versus New Day in a Viking rules match, by the way, which I believe is just no disqualification, no count out, no rules maybe. Just a quirky name that they put on it. Apparently, the ring was all decked out in Viking paraphernalia, even a ship. So it was all Viking decked out. New Day having fun like they always do. Dressed up as Thor and Loki, and Kofi. I guess they played the roles of Thor and Loki really fucking to the T. I'll just leave it at that, man. I don't want to give too much detail. You'll want to watch this shit, right? Get your own vibe from it. It was basically, it was a street fight with the Raiders taking the W after Woods was thrown off of the ship. or some shit like that. I'm trying to picture this. And then through 2 tables. Now, the original report that I heard was Kofi Kingston got sent through the tables. This report is saying Woods. Again, I'll get confirmation on that. But either way, the Raiders take the W off a pretty cool finish from what I'm seeing. So, I'm glad that happened. Just like I said in the earlier review. I keep saying last week's review, but it was earlier in this video. The Viking Raiders have to win. And that's exactly what happened, so I'm down with that. The main event segment was Roman Reigns' championship celebration, celebrating 2 years of Roman being champion. Sami Zayn is the honorary host, the master of ceremonies, in the ring celebrating with the Usos. Sami, I guess, is extra quirky and hilarious, so it'll be interesting to see what his shenanigans are. They announce Roman Reigns. Reigns pulls up backstage in the black SUV, trademark Reigns. But when he exits the SUV, he is immediately met with a claymore from Drew McIntyre. So that will be pretty cool to see, actually. That's going to be a cool pre-tape. If done like I'm visualizing it. Then apparently Drew, still pissed off from the beating he took last week, which was, it's taped the same night, so it was earlier in the night. But Drew, he tapped into his Undertaker powers. It was not affected, and Drew is right back there for this week's show, which was just an hour later. And Drew McIntyre, he hits the ring and he takes out Sami Zayn and the Usos as well. So Drew McIntyre was out just for everybody at that point. He takes out Roman backstage the second he gets out of the SUV, and then he goes right to the ring to take out the master of ceremony, Sami Zayn, and the bloodline, the Usos. Yeah, and the Usos, I believe, got sent through the commentary table. And then Drew got on the mic and talked about he is going to end Roman Reigns' title reign come Clash at the Castle. And that's how the show comes to a conclusion. So this is what brings me back full circle, though. A lot of people saw this week's SmackDown and said, okay, well, Drew got the shit kicked out of him. There's no way that this dude doesn't walk out of Cardiff, Wales. Clash at the Castle, September 4th, without those titles. But here we are 1 week later after these spoilers, and it's Drew McIntyre beating the shit out of the entire bloodline, punking out Roman backstage, and with the last laugh in the hero's visual taking us off the air as the go-home show next Friday. Usually that means the other person is going to win. That leads BC to believe, let's not be so sure Drew's walking out with the titles. This could be a VKM decision. Roman keeps that shit. I'm just saying, man. Don't be totally shocked if that doesn't happen, man. And Drew doesn't get the titles. Could you believe that, man? Wow. I don't know how Cardiff Wales would react. That'd be some shit. And that's what I got for you, man. I didn't want to keep you here too long. There was a lot to go over, dude. There was a lot to go over. We had to fit 2 weeks into one here. So hopefully I did justice by that. Much love to all you guys, man. My entire Amplified unit. Another phenomenal. That's the only word, and not to steal that from AJ Styles, but a phenomenal week on the channel. You guys made it that much more fun, that much more special. To all the new subscribers that came in this week, welcome. We get amplified. We a little batshit crazy at times. But it's all for the love of the business, all for fun. And hopefully I entertain you guys while at the same time teach you guys, man. Knowledge is power when it comes to pro wrestling. If you want a better product, the best way to go about business, educate yourself, learn about it, and then we can come together and actually try to change it. We're already doing that with WWE. And hopefully we can do that with the AEWs and whatever comes down the pipeline. Yeah. Anyway, bottom line, salute to my amp unit. Top guy. And I'm fucking out. Till next week, stay amplified and whoop this weekend's ass. Sasha! What the fuck are you... Seriously. Sasha, my amp unit and we need you to do us a favor. Hit my motherfucking music! That's it. That's the one. That's the one, unit. Much love, everybody. Salute. Top guy, I'm out. Stay amped. Salute, unit.